Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 out today. Got some more Backseat battling for you guys. This time around, we're going to be taking a look at these two players here who are currently only in Champion, but still in like the top 100s of the rankings so far, because it's currently preseason, right? Now, I haven't done one of these Backseat battlings in a little while because during the last couple of weeks of the RTA season, they do not let you spectate the legend players play because, well, they want to keep their builds, their team comps, their gear secret. And so here we are now during the preseason. We can see Tidal Rift Elvira getting picked up on the left side here, and this is the reason I kind of want to spectate these matches. Normally what I would do after these summon and showcase videos that I put out for you guys is I will take the unit out for a spin in RTA. Now, what I wanted to try out this time around, because we do have the spectate feature available to us, is see how these higher ranking players, how they utilize, right, these units. Okay, and hopefully both you and I can take a little something away from it, right? Learn about how to use her, or maybe even how to fight her. On the other side, we do see Little Queen Charlotte, newly buffed unit, right? Newly buffed Little Queen Charlotte there, really good against dark units. So we'll see how she fares against the Elvira, who also happens to be dark here. But yeah, we have Zio on one side, and we have Harsetti on the other. On the left with the Elvira, we do see a very aggressive team showing up here, and kind of my fears starting to manifest. You guys see how the Freerin and the Elvira picked up. Elvira does remind me of Freerin, the skill 1 into an extra attack, the skill 3 that nukes really incredibly hard. And I've been fearing of like that I would match into aggro or cleave teams like this, where they pick both Freerin and Elvira, and you're just kind of left, well, either banning one of their DPS nukes or having to fight both of their DPS nukes, right? So we'll see how this plays out here. Zio does take first turn always, even against Harsetti, right? So he's probably going to push her back. Okay, and then that does push up the Little Queen Charlotte, and now we see Ludwig come in with a skill 3. It's gonna be kind of rough here, but there is a Celine. Unfortunately, the Celine going to the Freerin doesn't really do all that much. You don't crit against Elvira either, which kind of sucks, but maybe can take out the Ludwig here. No, ends up going for the Elvira, guys. Look at that. She's now below half her health. I guess taking her out immediately might be the way to go, but look at the souls on the left side with Freerin, right? That's kind of scary. This Elvira coming in, 14k health, nuking the Little Queen Charlotte, almost taking her out, guys. Oh my god. She is still silenced, unfortunately, so she won't be able to really do anything when it comes to her turn. Arbiter Vildred does have the ability to soul burn and kind of nuke the opponent. Not gonna do it though. Not gonna soul burn here, just gonna rip that skill 3. Takes out the Zio. Ludwig! Oh my god. Okay, Elvira does go down as well, but look, she gives Cascade to everyone, and now this Freerin coming in. I fear that this Freerin's just gonna solo the rest of the team, unfortunately, and this is, again, my greatest fear, and one of the reasons why I continue to pre-ban Freerin, despite all you guys telling me that Freerin is not a problematic unit. As you can see here, she very much still is. But Elvira definitely set that up for Freerin to take that win easy peasy. Alright guys, got another one on our hands here with Ace Trainer on the left side going up against Haru on the right, and we'll see how this match plays out. Hopefully somebody picks Elvira to do some testing with. We have Notos and Lady of the Scales pre-banned, along with Bossarunka and Perfumer Biblis, so RNL's picked up on Ace Trainer's side, and we also have a Rinnock and a Zio to kind of contest, right? Stop Ace Trainer from taking that first turn. Arbiter Vildred coming out along with a Bellion. That's pretty cool. And there we go, guys. Tidal Rift Elvira in the ban protection slot. The warfare rule, by the way, is a special. It decreases evasion by 30%. So this RNL and this RB are going to be a little bit more vulnerable, right, during this draft here. Completely caught me by surprise that there's new warfare rules going on right now, but that's going to be really interesting to see how this shapes up, or shakes up, rather, the meta. We'll definitely see some changes, right, to things like Setsuka, for example, where this evasion rule pretty much is just a middle finger designed for her. Cancels out her passive entirely. She normally gives the entire team 30% chance to evade, right? That just completely cancels her out, so kind of cool to see. I don't know if they're going to continue doing this moving forward in the future, right? Warfare rules are just going to be like every unit ever ignores damage share and immortality doesn't exist to give a middle finger to, I don't know, Lady of the Scales, right? But it looks like Smilegate really wants to promote aggro and cleave playstyles. Getting rid of the evasion was one of the only ways you could, as a turn 2 player, survive in some cases against cleave and aggro, just through RNG. But we'll see how this plays out, guys, with Elvira on the right side, a relatively aggressive team. Again, my predictions were that she's going to be better in aggro and cleave teams, relative compared to like slower teams, like turn 2 teams, and we're kind of seeing that play out here. We'll see what happens in terms of follow-up, though, for the Zeo, because I don't know. Unless this Rinok is also really fast, I don't know if there's anybody that would really jump up immediately. Although then again, I don't think Ace Trainer really cared. He's playing super slow. Look at that Arbiter Vildred, base speed, right? Monarch of the Sword of Syria, Bellion, everybody there. Genesis Raz as well. Zeo going into the Bellion, and we see Rinok coming in onto the Genesis Raz. Very smart plays to pilfer him, take away 20% of his HP, which is definitely going to hurt his damage quite a bit. No counters at all, by the way. Ace Trainer's luck is just like mine, I guess. Monarch of the Sword of Syria doing absolutely nothing. Rinok gonna come in with the skill 3, still no counters at all. Hey, is this guy me? This is great. Oh my god, Haru gonna come in with the skill 3. Actually, Assyria managing to resist that, kind of cool. Tidal Rift Elvira coming in though with the skill 3 onto the Genesis Raz. See how much damage she does there. Decent, 19k, right? 13k to everybody else there. No seals being applied actually onto the, or sorry, not the seals. There's a seal on the RB. I was saying no curse was being applied onto the RB there. Curse is on Monarch of the Sword of Syria though. She finally gets a counterattack, but is it too late? I don't know. Genesis Raz coming in, skill 2 onto the Zeo. Okay, collapsing him. Now, the skill 3 here, does this actually finish off Elvira is the question. Because she does have anti-crit. No, oh, she does get taken out. Okay, very cool. She actually didn't have her buff there. It's actually kind of funny. There we go. Cascade, though, applied to everybody onto the team. And Monarch of the Sword of Syria does go down thanks to that Cascade. RB also can't revive, and because he's feared, he can't counter to throw back these debuffs either. So that's going to be very interesting. Rinok, ooh, going in for the RB. He does finally go down. Can Genesis Raz beat this? I don't think so. Genesis Raz typically loses to Rinok just in a 1v1 situation. We see this, or she already has 20k HP from pilfering twice, right? Getting the spoils of war. And yeah, she's going to be able to come in and finish off that Genesis Raz. So Haru taking that win there with Elvira's support. Hey guys, this is going to be a pretty nice match going on here with rank 5 going up against rank 6. Fearless on the left side going up against Ace Trainer, who we just watched. Ace Trainer now this time going for the Elvira first pick, and I do really want to see him use Elvira because he tends to play a little bit slower from what I can see in terms of his play style. And so we see this Elvira along with Arbiter Vildred, Bunny Dom, and Bellion. On the left side, we do see a pretty aggressive team. RNL, Spirit Eye, Celine, Fire, Lidica, right? Everybody hiding behind a Boss Arunca. Pretty solid team, especially because Spirit Eye Celine counters that Arbiter Vildred quite hard. Elvira does have the ability to put that, I'm kind of afraid that the Elvira is going to get banned here because she can put the curse onto Spirit Eye Celine and easily nuke her there. but we'll just have to see how this plays out. Setsuga getting picked up, she's banned along with the last pick Ruel. Warfare Rule for defense increases the amount recovered and barrier strength by 30%. That's going to make healing and any barrier units, protection set units, even better. That's a cool Warfare Rule. I haven't had a chance to really see all 4 of them, but I think resistance is one of them as well. So there's only one more Warfare Rule for us to discover, and hopefully we'll figure out what it is by the end of this video. RNL taking the first turn, not a surprise here, with Lidica hot on her heels. Let's see what the RNL is going to open with. Just a skill 3, but look at that chunky barrier, guys. Skill 2 immediately. Oh my god, the fear onto everybody. That is nasty, especially because Bunny Dom now really can't do much. She's going to get skill 2, resists everything though. Spirit Eye Celine can try to kill the Bunny Dom here. Yeah, he's going to get it, and because he gets it, takes that extra turn with no consequences at all. It is pain, Ace Trainer. I know, it is pain being a turn 2 player right now. All you gotta do is snap out of fear, right? Okay, there you go. Elvira does snap out of fear. Unfortunately, everybody kind of has the skill nullifier, but skill 3 comes out anyway. And we do see the curse being applied. No damage really being done though, so that's a little unfortunate. Skill 2 comes out with RNL, going straight into the Elvira, so even though she is quite tanky, quite resilient, no crits on her, yeah, she is still vulnerable to debuffs, and she can still easily be taken out because it's not like she can counterattack or anything of that sort, right? Bellion unfortunately being a target as well, and Arbiter Vildred not looking too good himself. No counters from the Bellion, not sure if she is built on counter or not. Boss Runka gonna come in. Oh, I feel this, Ace Trainer, I feel this, man. Bellion being hit here again. Oh, even if she was on counter, she is binded, so there's nothing you can do there. Spirit Eye Celine going into the Elvira, taking her out, but granting the Arbiter Vildred Cascade. This is kind of bad though, because skill nullifier on the left side, along with the Spirit Eye Celine, just gonna come in here and punish you for clicking buttons, right? There you go, just kind of breaking the skill nullifiers, but then Arby going down. There is a curse on that Lidica. She is going to be going down as well. Unfortunately, Cascade not able to take the Spirit Eye Celine down past half. So she is going to survive here. She is going to be able to counter. And she does hit RB, it seems. Oh my god. Well, he's definitely a goner now. Yeah, so the Spirit Eye Celine is gonna easily take care of him. That was kind of unfortunate. Was really hoping to see the Cascade, like, bring that Spirit Eye Celine down. But even then, I think the RNL could have finished everybody else off. So Ace Trainer kind of showing us why turn 2 just really isn't that great right now. Okay guys, we're gonna jump in for another match over here with How To going up against Burn My Dread. Pre-bans are being locked in right now. Perfumer Bibulus, Bellion, Notos, and All Bad Ludwig all getting banned out. How To gonna be first picking that RNL. And so let's see what Burn My Dread decides to do in response here. Boss Arunka, pretty solid pick, right? Forcing the RNL to have only a single target to attack into. I don't know either of these players and what their playstyles are like, so this is going to be quite interesting. A Europe server representative as well on the left side here. But yeah, would like to see one of these two players pick Elvira, because again, it's preseason, and I am trying to take notes, right? So far, I've noted that she is disgusting with Freerin, and that she is going to be picked with Freerin, and that she also is able to just one-shot things, and is really good in Cleave and aggro teams. So basically everything pointing to the fact that I'm probably going to be fighting her a lot, and I'm probably not going to like it. How To is going to snatch her up though, fitting for his profile representative, right? She is the rep hero for him. So yeah, Tidal Rift Elvira gonna get snatched up along with Festive Ida, two mages here. Festive Ida super strong with the ability to soul burn, to defense break, to silence as well, with fixed damage on top of that. Super strong debuffer and a super strong opener as well. The warfare rules are offense, which increases damage dealt by soul burn skills by 15%. Now I don't know if this just is any skill that attacks that has a soul burn will increase damage by 15%, or if it's just the ones that specifically increase damage will increase it more by 15%. I think it's the latter, right? So like if Arbiter Vildred soul burns, he'll deal more damage with his soul burn, but on top of that 15% additional damage, right, on top of it, which is kind of cool. It is kind of fitting, honestly, for what Smilegate's trying to promote right now, which is a really aggro and cleave-oriented playstyle, a cleave-oriented meta, which is really unfortunate. I know a lot of people don't like quote-unquote tank down metas where, you know, people utilize stuff like Ruel, but I think that's more of a Ruel and revive issue rather than a tank down issue. My issue with Cleave and aggro being the standard for a meta is that most newer players don't have the speed gear to contest in said meta. These aggro and Cleave playstyles do tend to favor more whale accounts more so than the general populace, right? That's why a lot of you guys watching my videos, you guys tend to play turn 2 or play slower. You guys say you don't have a ton of speed gear laying around. So that's why I'm really not a huge fan of Smilegate releasing like 5 units back to back to back to back to back that all just revolve around having fast gear, debuffs, and just punishing anyone trying to stay in the game alive longer than 2 turns, right? But we see the drafts are rounded out. We have Briarwitch Assyria getting picked up along with Numa Luna, so quite strange to see an Arbiter Vildred last picked here by Burn My Dread. Maybe Briarwitch is going to get banned out. That was a pretty fast selection there. Nope. Little Queen Charlotte is going to get banned out, and Numa Luna as well. Numa Luna would have shut down the Elena there, so definitely want to have the Elena cleanse going off, especially since you ban protected her. Arbiter Vildred against Briarwitch is going to be a bit strange. But perhaps there's something that I'm not seeing here, right? Again, I don't know either of these players. I don't know their play styles. And it looks like it's a relatively slow Arbiter Vildred, but nothing to really play off of the Elena, right? Elena might be able to cut if there's a AoE attack like this. But then even if she does, Briarwitch can just soul burn and get rid of the invincibility and the resistance, right? So we see the skill 3 coming out, boom. But Briarwitch can just soul burn this. She's not going to, ooh, actually. Somehow How-To had lost a few souls there. Okay, Arbiter Vildred is the only one that gets debuffed there. Oh, I see, because the Boss Arunka is on the artifact that drains souls every time you get hit by an AoE, which means the first AoE from Festive Ida rendered How-To unable to soul burn on his next unit, which is kind of cool. Look at that, RNL gonna go for the skill 3. RB just kind of chilling there. What a cool little team comp tech there, right? Not what I expected at all, but Boss Arunka gonna come in. Skill 3 onto the Festive Ida there. Defense break, very strong. But Elvira gonna come in. Skill 3 onto the Boss Arunka, the only target that's available. And it does do so much damage. The curse gets rid of the RB, and Bryceria renders him unable to revive. And look at that, guys, with a single sweep. How-To takes the win with Elvira. Okay guys, we're gonna try our luck once again with this match here, mostly because there is an Elvira profile representative, so we see the Elvira get snatched up on the left side, exactly what we were aiming for here. Asia server against global server, and we have an Aki who also got buffed in the ban protection slot for Thunder Gale. Let's see what our player on the left side is going to be doing with Emma Politis and a Genoa, another recently buffed unit, guys. That is going to be so cool to see them in action. By the way, moving forward, I am going to be trying to do some showcases for newly buffed units so that you guys can see them. I can't guarantee that I can always get footage of them in RTA in a timely fashion, so I'm going to be trying to experiment with a new series. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, where I take these units like Genoa, Little Queen Charlotte, Aki, and bring them into Arena to kind of showcase them and show maybe some team comps, maybe some ideas of how to use them, and honestly just to test how they work before we try to use them in RTA, right? Just a little thought. I'm going to try it out with this batch of buffed units this time around. So in the coming week or so, do expect to see some of those videos pop up here and there. Okay, but what we have here is Zio coming with a skill 3 onto the Salome, silencing her, but you know, mostly to push her back, I'd say. Sweet Miracle is usually being run on her, but look how far back she is, guys. She's not going to be taking a turn. Fumir gonna come in, skill 3, gonna be taking out that frontline unit, so goodbye, Politis. And Perfume Biblis, though, gonna be taking the RNL skill 2. Yeah, look at that bind being applied with that soul burn there. No skill 2 being used here to cleanse the team, which means Elvira super vulnerable to the fear debuff. Not only that though, guys, but Aki's gonna come in, and you guys kind of know what Aki does, right? So gonna soul burn, gonna be just nuking here, and the fact that they decrease his cooldowns on skill 3 means that he can soul burn on his skill 3, and then soul burn to skill 1, and then continue soul burning, right, even more. If you had more souls, you can soul burn one more time here. Oh yeah, no, he can soul burn one more time here, see? And then you can end up with another skill 3, which is just crazy stuff. Let's jump into this one here, where we have the #1 Spectre Tenebria player in the world picking Elvira once again. This is what I like to see, guys. People using the new units. What I don't like to see, though, is her being used with Lady of the Scales, Degenerate Ludwig, and New Moon Luna. It's a very aggressive, debuff-heavy team there, right? And on the right side, we do have RNL, Perfume Biblis, and Empyrean Ilinov getting picked up with her new skin. That's what we like to see. I actually haven't taken her new skin out for a ride, but that looks really, really nice there in the little preview there, right? Kind of cool. All right, but Elvira is really weak into something like Empyrean Ilinov because defense penetration is built into her passive, which means all of her damage relies on defense penetration. All of her damage modifiers and stuff are kind of balanced in regards to her always penetrating defense. So Empyrean Ilinov, fantastic choice here. Bellion and Zio also getting picked up on the right side. RNL getting banned out. Lady of the Scales going bye-bye, which means Arbiter Vildred, though, going to be dealing so much damage to both Bellion and Empyrean Ilinov. I don't know how I feel about this, because there's no one to follow up after the Zio here. So even though Zio takes first turn, there's not much you can do. You can't push back New Moon Luna if she has immunity, because the skill effect nullifier. So you can hit the Abad Ludwig, I guess. But yeah, everybody else is going to be relatively slow. Let's see what happens, though. Skill 3 going to come out. Hit the Ludwig, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Resisted. Double resisted there. Hello. What is going on? The Warfare rules is increased amount recovered in barrier strength by 30% because Ludwig needed a little bit of help with barrier strengths, I guess. That's not good. That is not good at all, guys, because Elvira is going to be coming in with the skill 3. See how much damage she does here onto the Ilinov. Not much, guys, not much. But the good thing here is that Curse is on pretty much everybody else. And that is going to be very, very bad once that Arbiter Vildred gets to take a turn. Now, Biblis, unfortunately, is silenced, and she also has a seal, right? So nothing they can really do about that. Bellion is going to soul burn, hitting the Arbiter Vildred, surprisingly. There we go. There's a little miss on that extra attack, but he still goes down, guys, to the 3F. Let's see what this curse damage is going to do here with Arbiter Vildred. Skill 3, maximum focus coming in. So much damage. So much damage, guys. Wow. Even though Elvira couldn't do anything herself because of the Empyrean Ilinov, Arbiter Vildred able to come in and just wreck so much havoc. Now that is a pretty cool animation from the Empyrean Ilinov, though. Kind of liking the skin. I don't know, it's controversial, but I kind of like it. You don't have to use the skin if you don't want to, but not a huge fan of the sprite though in game. Kind of like the skill 3 animation. That was kind of cool. But yeah, wow. Even with Empyrean Ilinov there, Elvira still manages to pull through. Okay guys, jumping in for one last match here with Burn My Dread on the left side, going up against a Smolik 5 on the right, and we already see the pre-bans being locked in here. No Ludwig, no Lady of the Scales, no Numaluna, and no Nurse Yoha, but instead we get Notos, who's gonna get picked up as the first choice here, along with Aram. Okay, Aram is pretty decent going if your team is going first, because you do get that effectiveness buff, right, which is not too shabby. We do see RNL get picked up here, and RNL does benefit from the Warfare rule of offense, which increases damage dealt by Soulburn skills by 15%, and we do see Little Queen Charlotte get snatched up on the right side as a band protection unit against RNL, which you do love to see. Quite a bit of tankiness with the Estelle and the Boss Arunca. Estelle and Little Queen Charlotte are going to be huge for slower players, I think, because Little Queen Charlotte decreases the damage that you take by 30% for your whole team, and Estelle takes on 40% of the damage that your teammates would take. So this is a really nice combo to just allow your team to survive, makes everybody super tanky, but it is very vulnerable because you're playing really slow, and you can easily get outsped and controlled and all that good stuff, right? So Salome gonna get snatched up there, maybe copying the Little Queen Charlotte, who knows, perhaps. But we do see hovering over Dragon Bride Senya, not really the unit I would think would get picked up. Arwell and going back and picking that Dragon Bride Senya. Okay then, are we gonna see Elvira get snatched up here? All those control skills, maybe against this Notos, perhaps. Would be very, very interested to see something like that happen here, but no! We see it, Dark Corvus versus Notos, guys! Oh, now that's kind of a matchup I do want to see. Of course, I could go fishing for more Elvira matches, but the Notos Dark Corvus, though, that's kind of cool. Right, let's see the bands locked in. No! The two units we wanted to see here, Notos and Dark Corvus, are both banned out, but you know what? I'm kind of curious to see what would happen with this Little Queen Charlotte against this this RNL, right? RNL is being protected in the back lines by this Dragon Bride Senya. Skill 2 coming in, bind on the Boss Arunca. Oh, that's unfortunate. But look at that, hardly putting a dent into the team, right? Smolik actually very tanky there with the high defense Boss Arunca, damage share from the Estelle, and the decreased damage taken by this Little Queen Charlotte. She also can't get feared, by the way, which is wonderful. Immune to things that prevent movement, like sleep, stun, and fear. But this is a 20k HP Little Queen Charlotte. Is she gonna have enough damage? That's the thing. She is gonna skill 1, that dual attacks with Estelle, very lucky there, gets a nice chunky barrier for everyone, that's wonderful. Skill 3 coming out from the Arwell, onto the Boss Arunca. Will it be enough? Ooh, it is enough. Wow, taking away the barrier and then stunning her, that's not gonna be really good for Smolik right now. Arwell, though, gonna get copied here. Because it's a kind of a war of attrition and Boss Arunca can't go, might as well give the team a little barrier, right? Maybe a little bit of that defense buff too. So very good stuff, nicely played. It's so fun to finally see like a slower paced match where both players get to go back and forth, and it's not just one player cleaving the other one. Okay, we do see RNL get reset here by the Aram. And so she is gonna be able to come in with her skills fully off cooldown. Skill 3. No skill 2 just yet, just a skill 3 to strip all of those buffs. Oh wow, guys, look at that defense buff, barriers, everything gone. Estelle now coming in to try to deal some damage of her own. Almost 34k HP, that's really good. He's focusing down the Dragon Bride Senya right now, and for good reason. If you don't finish off the Dragon Bride Senya, Little Queen Charlotte can't really reach that RNL in the back line, right? Dragon Bride Senya is just going to protect her way too much. The Arwell, though, is making it difficult to take care of the Dragon Bride Senya, so we do see a Soulburn from the Salome collapsing, having the HP of this Senya, along with defense breaking her. Now Little Queen Charlotte going to be coming in with a skill 3 of Bonk straight onto the Dragon Bride Senya. yet. Is it enough? It is! Extinction applied as well. Arwell not able to mitigate enough damage there to prevent her from being taken out. Little Queen Charlotte also healing a little bit there, which is really nice. Counterattack coming out from the Bossarunka. Really good damage, chipping away at this RNL's barrier, right? Oh, look at that. A second counterattack has hit the RNL, and we see she is in range of an LQC. Now, unfortunately, LQC, she's already used her skill 3, and she has relatively long cooldowns for that skill, as we see here. 2 more turns until she can bonk somebody again, but the Bossarunka is not going to let up here. She's at about half health, but she is going to get a nice chunky barrier and defense buff to help keep her in this battle. And again, Estelle with the damage share, and the Little Queen Charlotte with the damage mitigation. Super powerful combo. Salome is adding a little bit more tempo to the team too, allowing to dual attack with the Little Queen Charlotte, getting that immunity buff. That's really good. But Salome being a faster unit, being able to copy units and stuff, she really opened up the door as a really strong support unit with the defense break and the collapse as well previously. Holy Sacrifice on this Arwell. Interesting stuff here. So she comes back, but no escort buff. No escort buff just yet. Everyone's still going to focus her down though. Estelle replenishing that barrier on that Bossarunka and onto the rest of the team. Smolik showing that, hey, even though things looked pretty grim at the start, there is always room for a comeback, and there you go, copying the LQC so you can give that RNL a little bonk to the head, and that'll probably finish everything off, especially because there's no escort buff on the ROL. But guys, that is going to conclude our backseat battling for today. Let me know what you guys think of these matches. What do you think of Elvira now that you've seen her in the hands of legend players? Is she worth pulling? Let me know what you think down below, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.